Naim, the boys don't even say for this travel where they travel self. My mother-in-law was kind enough. She's coming from Nigeria to look after them. Dara is only
Oh,
13,
awesome.
so you can't leave the two of them
You can't leave the
unattended.
two of them. Yeah, no,
They,
no, no,
Dara
no.
comes from school by himself. It's Timmy that I go to pick because he's still in primary school. He's 9. He's in year 5. He can come home by
Yeah.
himself as well. They allow him, but I don't want to take that risk.
I know you Nigerian parents, our eyes know they take them. We
Naim
know
no.
where we
So
know where they come from.
not my
When
brother. This the
when
suffer
they
where
tell
as
me
far.
say exactly when they tell me say when their mama tell me say the first day will tell me say my son come back from he go play ball somewhere, come back by I say why? Why would he go anywhere? Why will he do I'm later I find that was actually not the first time. The boy follows his friends, they go and play football near the house, and they come back. So he had to do video call to carry me there. That far. Now just
By the
I
side
say,
of the
oh,
road.
now my retirement benefit be that too.
Naim, so I know they joke with them. Any job where
That's
they do, I go leave and I
I
go
think
carry on.
we leave them more. You have to pick them up, man. You have to pick them up. All
Naim,
right, guys,
Naim.
let's do this. When Eddie is ready, he'll join us. All right, 7 more games to go, Abby.
Yeah. Oh boy,
Abby,
ain't
7
no
more games to
problem.
go. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. We got this. All right, and 7 more games to the end of what has been an exciting and very, very fiercely contested Premier League. It's not been like this in a very, very long time. But hey, Arsenal face a battle hotter than ever this season to remain top of the table. Manchester City hot on the heels of Arsenal. Will Arsenal crumble? Will they continue to hold on to that first position? Well, the answers will start from Friday, this game week in the Premier League. My name is Joseph Faulkner, and I welcome you all to another round of Game On, another episode of Game On, the show where we bring you everything, all the excitement, the drama, the controversies, everything that makes the Premier League the most exciting league in the world. Once again, my name is Joseph Faulkner. I'm in the company of greatness. Yes, I've got my man Femi Oyedola with me on this one. Femi, what's going on, bro? How are you doing?
I thought you would say greatness twice, but I'll take once anyway, you know. But I'll take once. I'll take once. Look, Ali, feeling great as always. Just a pleasure to be on the call with you guys, and always a pleasure to be with the fans as well. I'm sure everyone is absolutely buzzing to see what this end of the season looks like. All the enemies are out already. They're bringing out the elephant meat,
Fans
but
are out. Yeah.
God no go,
No go shame
God no go
us.
shame us.
Well, that's Femi. Another great guy in the building, Festus Chuku. Festus, a lot of people are already coming for Arsenal, and I have a few friends who are already waiting to hear what we have to say. They are not Arsenal fans. They are waiting to hear what we have to say. But Festus, welcome to the show.
Kali, the amount of messages and memes I've been receiving since the last match, in fact, is overwhelming. A lot of people are actually waiting for us to fail. I don't know why. I don't know what is causing the beef. I don't know what is creating so much bad belly in quotes against Arsenal. But funny enough, but we still have some couple of guys that wants us to win because people are also tired of City's dominance. Guys, it's always a pleasure to be here to talk football with my great guys. I know today is going to be an exciting day. And as the running continues, I know we have some interesting discussions and facts we're going to lay out to the fans. Thank you.
All right. So quickly, guys, we're going to go into this one. We're going to talk about Arsenal and the title chase, Arsenal City and the title chase. We'll talk about that much later in the show. But first of all, a team that has taken everybody by surprise. The former Arsenal manager was brought into the Premier League, talking about Unai Emery. He took over at a club that were looking at, they were fighting relegation. They were looking at relegation, staring relegation right in the face. But somehow he has so changed the fortune of the team that in 8 games, they've not lost any. In 8 games, and that's talking about Aston Villa. In 8 games, they've only drawn one, and that was the match away at West Ham. In 10 games, they've lost only 2. And the 2 games they've lost was the first one to Manchester City, the second one to Arsenal. And since then, they've been on a road. They're in their last 5 games, they've played home or away in the Premier League. They've actually won convincingly. They play good football, expansive football. They defend well. They are more organized than ever before. And my question to you guys today is this, and it's twofold. looking at Aston Villa's running, because I took my time to look at the kind of the games they have ahead of them, and I'm thinking in my head, these guys look like they can sneak into that Champions League post. But guys, I'm going to ask you guys, can or will Aston Villa, do you see them nicking that Champions League spot? And will it be a surprise if they actually do it? And I'm going to start with you, Femi. I don't know why you're smiling. You have a wide smile on your face because of this matter. But do you think it will shock anybody, the way Aston Villa have been playing, if they finish in a Champions League spot?
I mean, to be fair, if you go back in time, you remember Emery did the same thing when he was at Arsenal. There was a time he went 22 games unbeaten, if you remember. And the beauty was, yes, he went 22 games unbeaten, but we were still outside of the top four. So being unbeaten, remember Newcastle as well. They had a crazy run, but still looked like they were not sure for the top four. So you can have a great run. Brighton were on a brilliant run at some point. Remember Brentford as well this season. Even when they came to us, they had gone on like maybe 10, 11, 12 games as well. So people can actually build up an unbeaten run. But the problem in the Premier League is, while you remain unbeaten, there are other teams who are not dropping as many points as well. And that's why Villa can't crack it, despite the fact that they're actually winning. They're not even just drawing games, they're winning most of their games, which of course accelerates your position up the league. But the problem is to reach that extra bar. That's where the trouble is. The teams in the top four are usually very consistent teams. And if you look at Arsenal and Man City, who have been incredibly consistent this season, Man United, they've had some crazy runs as well. Newcastle have been on some amazing runs. That's why they're there. Tottenham, there and thereabouts. That's why they're not so sure for that top four. So I would say Aston Villa, yes, you have to commend what they're doing. And I'm not saying it to downplay the importance of what they're doing. It's amazing in the Premier League if you can rack up wins. Look at Crystal Palace. Couldn't win a game up until what, March? And now they're on a great run with with their new manager, the old manager, we have to call him Roy Hodgson. And when I say old, I mean previous. I'm not talking about his age. But you can infer anything you want as well. So overall, all I'm saying is, will it happen? I don't think it will happen. But is it commendable that they're on such a remarkable run where it's even in our thoughts that it could happen? Then, of course, you have to commend them and say, fantastic run.
So, but first off, Femi is saying it can happen. But then you look at the people they are fighting for that spot, for a chance to finish in the top four. Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle United. And in the last 5, 6, 7 games, Aston Villa has been more consistent than Spurs, than Newcastle United, than Manchester United. In the last 5, United have lost 1, drawn 1. In the last 5, Newcastle, I think they've lost 1. In the last 5, Tottenham Hotspur actually lost their last game. You've seen Spurs drop funny points that they have no business, dropping. And away from home, Tottenham Hotspur have not looked very, very solid. And that's why I keep thinking, maybe, just maybe, this other side that looks like they've come from nowhere. They are winning games consecutively. Some of the guys around them have suddenly become inconsistent. They have been consistent. And that's why I'm thinking, just maybe, I don't know what you think about that, but do you agree with Femi that it can't happen?
Kali, I get where you're coming from, but I think I want to stay with Femi on this. And my reason basically may be a bit different from his own reasons. My reason basically is that if we still have close to 10, 11 matches to go, Kali, I would have told you, I think it's very, very possible. Currently, we have just 7 matches to go. It is way too short. Yes, that run, but just like what you pointed out, the guys ahead of them also, everybody knows this is the running. Everybody is going to, as much as possible, try to rack up some points. And I am looking at it goes, I'm looking at the point difference from them, and Newcastle is on the 4th. We have 6 points, and Newcastle is on plus 20, goals difference 24. They are on 4. So you could see that difference. They were so bad before that. Despite their consistent win, they are trying to catch up, but the odds are so stacked against them. That 7 games, I looked at Newcastle. You are talking about their running. Okay, when you look at Newcastle for me is a direct threat. I'm waving off I think they can easily catch up with Tottenham, who is on the 5th. I think they could end up 5th, but it's going to be it's going to be a lot difficult to displace Newcastle, who is also getting back in form, who is also consistent, has better goals difference, leading with +6, and has better games running. I looked at their games. They are playing Tottenham this weekend, and I can bet you they win Tottenham. They are playing Everton, they are playing Southampton. The only tough games for them there looks like Arsenal and Chelsea. They are playing away. Even Chelsea, anybody, people goes there and take points. So you could say that Arsenal is like the major threat for them there. Every one of this game, on a good day, Newcastle can actually take these points. So when you look at the Newcastle running, it's going to be difficult displacing them with 6 points and 7 matches to go. So like Femi said, commendable. They've really done well. I give from where they're coming from to even be considering top 4 is a whole lot of achievements. Kudos to them. But I think they will end up around 5th position. I think that's my take.
So I don't think I'll be shocked if they finish in 4th, actually. My simple reason is because, for instance, last weekend, look at what they did to Newcastle United. They made Newcastle United look very ordinary, and we've seen a few teams do that to Newcastle in recent weeks. Go up against Newcastle before Newcastle started on their run again. You saw them against the likes of I think it was Brentford, it was Wolves, and the rest of them. So I'm looking at Newcastle's running, and I'm thinking Everton is going to give them a lot of problems. I think that they're still going to play Tottenham Hotspur at some point this season. They're still going to play Arsenal.
They play Tottenham this week, really.
This week. So Tottenham Hotspur on their part, I just feel they're the most inconsistent of all the teams up there. You know, so I feel like, okay, yes. I feel like Aston Villa will leapfrog Tottenham Hotspur at some point, but I just have this sneaky feeling that Newcastle United, the kind of inconsistency we saw before they went on their 4 games winning run, the 4 games winning run before they now lost again to Aston Villa. I think it shows that there's some level of vulnerability. Maybe it's tiredness. They played at a tempo this season that nobody thought Newcastle had in them. And that's why Newcastle are in the fight for a Champions League spot. They've been absolutely phenomenal. They've blown a lot of teams away that we never thought they could. When they came to the Emirates, I didn't expect them to be that pragmatic, to be that smart when they took on the Arsenal, and they were able to, yes, even though they were held by,
and they even gave the match a contest, Kali. It's not like they defended all through. They defended, but they still made some attempts to score, which we all enjoyed, even when it ended.
Newcastle played counter-attack. They waited till they had chance to counter. They didn't play like the normal Newcastle that played all season, and that was one of the things that a lot of Arsenal fans and then Mikel Arteta was pretty angry about, the time wasting, and that's why some of the Arsenal players got frustrated towards the end of the game, because they were wasting a lot of time. They were lying down everywhere. Joelinton and the rest of them were lying down everywhere, were making life so difficult. They weren't playing football because everybody knew that Newcastle can play football. Everybody have seen them also. But then at the end of the day, it's I think it's exciting to see new faces, new teams. There's an Arsenal fighting for the title. It's new. It's not the normal
Liverpool, City,
Manchester City, Liverpool, know, for that's been like that for about 6-7 years now. It's new, it's fresh. You're looking at the top 4. Newcastle is in the mix. Aston Villa in the mix for a top 4 finish. It's new, and it makes the Premier League very, very exciting.